Welcome back to EtherLink AI Insights. I'm Alex, and today we're diving into a topic that's reshaping how businesses operate right here in Den Haag and across the Netherlands. We're talking about AI chatbots and customer service automation, and how local companies are using these tools to cut costs, stay compliant, and actually improve how they serve customers. Sam, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks, Alex. I'm really excited about this one because Den Hogg is such an interesting case study. You've got this perfect storm: government institutions, fintech companies, international organizations, all needing smart customer service solutions and all having to navigate the EU AI Act. It's not your typical tech hub story.
Exactly. So let's set the scene. Den Hogg has about 4,500 tech companies, and over 40% of them are actively investing in AI. That's a pretty significant number. What's driving this kind of adoption rate?
Three things, really. First, labor shortages. It's tough to hire customer service staff in the Netherlands right now. Second, wage costs keep climbing. Third, and honestly this is the big one, companies are seeing real return on investment from these systems. The Gartner research shows 64% of business owners in the Benelux report improved customer relationships after deploying AI-driven customer service. That's not a marginal improvement, that's substantial.
Those improved customer relationships interest me because people often worry that automating customer service means a worse experience, but that's clearly not what the data is showing. Let's talk about the financial side, though. What are we actually looking at in terms of cost savings?
The numbers are compelling. McKinsey found that businesses implementing AI customer service automation achieve about 20% operational cost reductions on average. For a Den Hogg insurance company with 15 support staff making roughly $45,000 each, that's about $135,000 saved annually just by deploying intelligent chatbots effectively. And that's just one example.
So where's that money coming from? Is it just that you're replacing people, or is there something more sophisticated happening?
It's much more nuanced. Yes, you're reducing headcount in some cases, but the real savings come from AI handling 40 to 60% of routine inquiries without any human escalation. You get 24/7 availability without having to pay for night shifts. Your chatbots don't need 2 weeks of training like a new hire does. And here's the kicker: faster first contact resolution actually improves customer retention, which means higher lifetime value. It's not just about cutting costs, it's about efficiency gains across the board.
That retention point is really important. People don't often think about chatbots as a retention tool. But I want to circle back to something you mentioned earlier, the EU AI Act. Because Den Haag businesses aren't just optimizing, they're doing it under strict regulatory requirements. How does that change the game?
Dramatically. Most cities are racing to deploy AI fast. Den Hogg businesses are racing to deploy AI responsibly. The EU AI Act creates compliance requirements that a lot of AI vendors and companies haven't really figured out yet. But Den Hogg, because of its government presence and international legal bodies, is naturally positioned to lead on this. It's actually a competitive advantage for local firms.
So being in a highly regulated environment is actually an advantage? That seems counterintuitive.
It is at first, but think about it. If you solve compliance in Den Hogg, you can scale across Europe. If you build a chatbot that works for Dutch government agencies and financial services firms under the EU AI Act, you've built something that can work almost anywhere. Plus, companies that get compliance right don't face fines, reputation damage, or having to rebuild their systems later. That's expensive.
That's a great point. Now, Den Haag's economy is pretty diverse. Government, diplomacy, fintech, healthcare, tourism. Are these industries using chatbots in different ways?
Completely different ways. Government agencies need secure, multilingual support with ironclad compliance. Financial services need 24/7 availability with fraud detection built in. Tourism relies on rapid, multilingual responses to keep travelers happy. One-size-fits-all chatbots don't cut it. You need flexible AI architectures that can handle these different requirements. The latest AI lead architectures are sophisticated enough to do this, but you have to design thoughtfully.
Let's talk about adoption rates. I remember you mentioned that 73% of local SMEs in Den Hogg plan to implement or upgrade AI customer service tools by the end of 2026. That's huge.
It is. And that stat comes from the Den Haag Chamber of Commerce. What's interesting is it's not just big enterprises, it's small and medium-sized businesses too. That suggests the technology has become accessible enough that companies of various sizes can benefit. The barrier to entry has lowered significantly.
But not everyone is equally prepared to implement this technology successfully. What should a Den Hogg business actually be thinking about if they're considering this move?
First, understand what problems you're actually solving. Are you trying to reduce costs, improve response times, handle after-hours inquiries? Your answer shapes the whole implementation. Second, audit your compliance requirements, especially under the EU AI Act. Third, consider a hybrid human-AI model rather than full automation. The best customer service outcomes we're seeing in Den Hogg combine AI efficiency with human expertise for complex issues. Don't try to automate everything.
The hybrid model is interesting. It sounds like you're not replacing your customer service team. You're transforming it.
Exactly. Your team shifts from handling routine password resets and FAQ inquiries to managing complex customer issues, retention, and relationship building. That's more valuable work, frankly. It requires different skills, sure, but you're not just cutting people, you're redirecting their expertise toward higher impact activities.
So if I'm listening to this and I run a Den Hogg business, what's my next step?
Start with an audit. Map your current customer service processes. Identify which interactions are routine and which require human judgment. Look at your compliance obligations honestly. Then pilot a chatbot solution on one small use case rather than going all in. Measure results carefully, not just cost savings, but also customer satisfaction and employee feedback. Learn from the pilot, then scale.
That's practical advice. Before we wrap up, what's one thing you think Den Hogg businesses are getting right that others might miss?
They're thinking long-term about compliance and responsibility, not just short-term automation wins. That mindset prevents costly mistakes down the road and builds customer trust. In a city where you've got major government bodies and international organizations, reputation matters. Getting AI right matters.
Great insights, Sam. For listeners who want to dive deeper into AI chatbots, cost savings strategies, and EU AI Act compliance specifics, head over to etherlink.ai and find the full article on AI chatbots for customer service automation in Den Hogg. There's a lot more detail there on real implementations and practical frameworks. Thanks for tuning in to EtherLink AI Insights. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, Alex. Catch you next episode.